Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, many home sellers ask how to get their house ready to sell. They want to know what to do and, importantly, what not to do to get their homes ready for that sale. So, what are your suggestions to help home sellers get that top dollar without over improving their home with additions that they're not going to see a return on?
Well, Richard, I'm going to act like a politician and ask a question from a question.
All right.
So let's say you're getting your house ready to sell and you want to spend, I don't know, 5, 10, even 20,000 to fix up the home. Do you think it would sell for more based on the dollars that you put into it?
I think the conventional wisdom, or not conventional, but I think for a long time people thought that it would. If I put $10,000 into the kitchen, I'll get at least that 10,000 back, and maybe 15 or 20,000 back. But I've been talking to you for a while, so I think I know better.
Well, it's the answer really is it kind of depends. I've seen people spend money in the wrong places. Like I had one guy that was really proud of his tankless water heater. Now I think those are expensive. I haven't purchased one. I believe they're like $10,000. It might be, they might have come down since then. But is the buyer going to pay more money because it's a tankless water heater? I don't think so. At least that hasn't been my experience. So what we're going to talk about are ways to avoid over improving your home and avoid wasting money. I know kitchen remodels are kind of one of those gotchas. Like our kitchens are ready to remodel. I have in my head about what I think it's going to cost. I'm probably low. Are we going to get that money back? Probably not, but I'm doing it for me because the cabinets are beat up. I'm griping about the organization of it. So, I have to do it for me. I'm not doing it for our future buyer because it doesn't matter to me right now. And that's the way I feel like you should take into consideration any major updates. I understand if it's old and tired, like right now, our cabinets, just the bottom of it looks like somebody took a vacuum or something, just banged the bottom of the cabinets really bad. I don't know how that happened, but wear and tear, 25 years is going to happen. But it doesn't necessarily mean that if you fix everything, you're going to make more money. That's not always the case. Buyers are going to pay a price based on what your current competition looks like. For me, that is the most important data point. If your current competition has granite counters and, beautiful stainless steel appliances and all that, then maybe it might be worthwhile to do that investment. But if it's not, like it's almost expected above a certain price point to have hard surface counters and stainless steel appliances. But in the lower price points, the buyers just want it working and move-in ready, essentially. So it's very easy to spend too much money and over upgrade the home with things like high-end custom cabinetry. Oh, look, I have fluted whatever trim or on the top of the cabinets, and the buyers just don't pay for that. They're looking at, does it look good? Do I have to put money into it? Can I move in right now? Now, if you go into a new construction site, they're going to talk about what those things cost. Oh, yeah, if you want this and you want that, that's going to cost us this much more, which it might. But is the buyer going to pay for it? I don't know. I will say that some things the buyers are almost considering now are things like in the kitchen, if the drawers and the doors are soft close, they really like that. And that's just a hardware issue. You could fix that at a relatively low amount of money. But just, I work with what you have, make sure it's functional and in good shape. I don't think major renovations really move the bar. You have to pay attention to the neighborhood standard. Let me give you an example. I just showed a home this past week, and it was completely remodeled. It was attractive. I wasn't crazy about the finishes. In fact, I shouldn't have said this, but I told the buyer, because she asked my opinion, what do you think? I said, I don't love the finishes in this home. What they had done was put luxury. Now, this term luxury vinyl, I don't know if you're familiar with it, Richard. It's basically vinyl flooring, right? But they put the word luxury in front of it and made it more expensive. That's what I think.
Wow, that's marketing, right?
Yeah. So, and it's really expensive. Like I put it in a rental property because I thought it'd be easy care. I was going to do the whole upstairs and downstairs, but I didn't because the floors in the basement, it would have cost too much to level the floors to get it exactly right. So we just did carpet in the basement and the luxury vinyl upstairs. And it turned out the luxury vinyl was 4 times more the cost of carpet, right? And in this case, this whole entire huge house was luxury vinyl, including the bedrooms. And that turned out to be a negative for the buyer. The other thing they did was they put in this, instead of granite or instead of quartz, they put in this product that was called solid surface, which it wasn't shiny. It had a dull finish. You could see every fingerprint and every piece of dust on it practically. And on the phone, the agent's trying to sell me on it, saying that it's more durable than quartz. Now, I've had quartz in my kitchen for 25 years, and we are tough on kitchens. We're brutal on houses in general. And it's held up really well. So I don't know if I agree with her, but at the end of the day, the real problem was they had gone in and done fresh paint and neutral colors and all these kind of visually kind of fancy things, but functionally not fancy. Like they did overmount sinks. They were big rectangle black sinks. Now, black is a problem because it shows everything. Same solid surface product, but in the bathrooms, there's no place to put stuff. There was no place where you could put, things that you would put in a bathroom. And I thought, that's kind of odd. The whole thing about it was just odd. And the biggest problem was compared to other homes in the neighborhood, it was at least 200,000 overpriced. And I am not exaggerating. So this buyer's getting a VA loan and they're asking me what I thought it was worth. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I think we're going to have a tough time when it comes to appraisal. So if the appraiser comes along and agrees with me that it's not worth what other similar homes have sold for in the neighborhood, that means you're 3 weeks into the process and you pass by other homes and then you end up not getting the house because if it doesn't appraise, they have to plunk down a couple $100,000 to buy that home. So I think that was a big mistake, actually, the upgrades and overpricing it because probably the upgrades were expensive. So you have to be really careful when you do it. And that's why you need a professional to help you guide you through those decisions if you are planning to make improvements before you move. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about how you can avoid over improving your home when you get it ready for sale and some improvements that actually do move the needle with buyers. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing how to get top dollar without over improving your home. So, what are some improvements that do get buyers to buy without costing home sellers too much money by way of investment?
Well, number one is just clean and declutter. I mean, that's just physical work. It's not, it doesn't cost really money other than if you're going to keep the stuff that you decluttered, you're going to have to put it in a storage shed somewhere. Don't leave it in the house if you can avoid it. You want to make sure the house looks almost like nobody lives there. Nothing on the counters, nothing on the coffee table, nothing on the kitchen counters or bathroom sinks. Make it light and bright and very austere because the buyers have to visualize themselves in the home. And paint's one of those things that you can get a really good return on your investment. You want neutral colors, you want light tones. And if you go on Google or the internet and you look at, okay, what are the painting trends for the year? Be very careful about what they say about trends because I've seen some, instead of trends, they were actually designer fads like bright turquoise, like about the color of my jacket, jewel tones, turquoise jewel or dark blue or those kind of things. If you put those sort of colors onto main rooms and they go out of style, guess what? Either it's not going to sell or buyers are going to turn their nose up at it and you're going to end up lowering the price below what your investment was anyway. So be very, very careful about paint. Flooring, if needed, is very important. Buyers want to move in, drop their stuff, and get on with their life. Minor kitchen updates are important. Things like try to match all the appliances if possible. Also, any broken stuff you want to fix. So what I see a lot on Formica is there's chips and stuff, or burn marks and things like that. And you can repair it. It might be cost effective to replace Formica. I had one client that spent, her original Formica was really this beige kind of ugly color, and it was chipped. So she went and bought some new Formica. So it wasn't even solid surface, but the newer Formica, some of them look like granite. They're beautiful. And she spent $2,000 in her household right away. So it's very important that you get that move-in ready look, especially in a kitchen. And curb appeal, another thing that just takes labor essentially, is landscaping, mulch, fix the front doorbell, freshen up the door paint. Those little things, clean the entryway, give the bushes a haircut if you have bushes. It's hard, in the winter months really to make the yard look really pretty, but you can make it look neat and tidy, and that's not hard to do. Curb appeal is critical because the buyers start their search online. So the very first appeal is screen appeal. And if they like what they see, they're going to drive by and they're going to care about your house. They're going to care about your neighbor's house. And sometimes I think when people take care of their yards, it's almost infectious where the neighbor does it too. And then they have a competition going. So I think it's a good thing. And if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call. We'd love to help you. We help clients every single week, give them tips on what to do and what not to do to get their house ready for sale. We'll go over all the closing costs, give you a really good idea what your home will sell for and how much you'll put in your pocket when it sells. We sell homes every single week, and we'd love to help you. Just give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you are thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be discussing the truth about days on market when you're selling a home. Stay tuned for that.